season, but still has not been sharp here tonight.
No, he's had people open, Mike, and he has just missed him. The Eagles' offensive line, their backs did a nice job of picking up the blitz. Donovan knew he had the one-on-one coverage on the outside to Curtis and threw the ball behind him. Right now, he is struggling with his accuracy.
3rd and 6. Washington has a couple of timeouts left. That huddle by the Eagles, only the second time they've huddled in what's about to be 30 offensive plays. McNabb is about to get hit, put it up for Curtis. Incomplete, step for step. Carlos Rogers the coverage. Rocky McIntosh the pressure. And the Eagle fans voice their displeasure. Punt coming.
And the Redskins in their secondary went press man-to-man across the board. You know, they took a blueprint, the PageNet blueprint last week of the Green Bay Packers. You see the pressure on Donovan. He's got to get rid of the football. Wide receivers aren't winning. Of course, the ball was thrown far outside the sideline. Would have had a chance anyway.
So Sam Rocco with the punt. The Aussie kicks it 33 yards. Randall catches it and catches a faceful as it's the second consecutive special teams tackle for Nick Graham. So no return. And the Redskins will take over at the 27 with a couple of timeouts. And what honestly has not been one of the most exhilarating games in the history of the NFL.
Well, this is the type of game I actually expected tonight. I expected the quarterback to throw a little better, maybe make a few more plays, but this is your typical NFC East. I call it the old snot knocker kind of game. You know, just going to keep hitting each other, knocking the snot out of each other, get down to the last couple minutes of the game, and one play will determine the winner.
You do have to give some credit to the defense and respect them and realize Philadelphia's defense did not allow a touchdown at Green Bay. The only touchdown was on the muffed punt by Greg Lewis. And they haven't allowed a touchdown here. So 6 quarters, keeping the opponent out of the end zone. Campbell for the 27. Liddell Betts gets his shot. Quentin Michael in for Sean Considine makes the tackle. Gain of 3 for Betts in his 6th year out of Iowa. And we'll see if the Redskins go no huddle or huddle.
And this is a very intriguing situation for a young quarterback. Going up against a very aggressive zone blitzing style of defense. You know, in this 2-minute situation, he's in there now calling his own plays. Can he matriculate his team down the field against this get after it style of defense?
Sean Considine, by the way, safety Eagles, knee contusion, likely to return. Campbell's throw, caught by Randall. Good job to haul it in at the 40 in front of William James. First down, timeout Washington. They'll have 1 left.
Excellent throw by Campbell under duress. You be the quarterback right here. Bodies are flying around you. Pulls it back. Outstanding body control by Randall.
So it's nice to be 6'5" and 230. You can still see because there's no lane to throw through.
Boy, that's a great catch by Randall. The ball is behind him. Williams James chasing from behind. He reaches back and snatches that football out of the air.
Well, we've talked about the second tenure of Joe Gibbs as the Washington Redskins head coach. They're 81 through 92. They sparkling regular season record, 5 below 500 now. The 16 playoff wins, including 3 Super Bowl wins and 1 Super Bowl loss with a terrific team. But the Redskins twice in this second time around for Joe Gibbs have finished at the bottom of the ultra-competitive NFC East. And Joe at 66 continues to have that drive and that determination to turn the Redskins back around to where they were during his day when playoffs were regular, not the surprise like their last couple of playoff appearances have been. Too high for Moss, trying to get off the ground. Dawkins brought the pressure.
Boy, we are seeing some erratic quarterback play here this evening, Mike. Once again, Jason Campbell reads the blitz. Jim Johnson, the defense coordinator from the Eagles, turning up the pressure right now. You get a chance to make a play, you've got to get this one once again down the belt buckle to Santana Moss. The high throw from Jason Campbell this time.
There he is. Jim Johnson brought both safeties that time, Quentin Michael and Brian Dawkins.
And Jim will dial up the pressure.
Just 4 this time. They're back covering in his zone. Moss catches, sprints for the sideline and the marker. And he is at both. Gets out of bounds. Ball laid right on the midfield stripe. Should be enough for a first down with 51 seconds to go. They'll measure.
And William James, the corner on that side, must understand the situation. Defend that first down yardage. He went a little bit back to the inside, and you got to be careful. Just squeeze. There's enough room to squeeze to that sideline. You'll see James, number 21, right there. He's coming in with the motion. Stay right there. Don't back up. Now he backs up right there because he's got the corner behind him. That gives Santana Moss just enough room to get to the sideline. The design of the route, Mike, had that little bow out to the corner behind him. He was worried about that one. Expanded just a hair too much.
The clasp that keeps the links to the bottom of the chain. That's short with 51 seconds left. Santana Moss, who had 3 catches and 2 drops last week, already with 4 grabs. And that average of 18.5, he has the highest per catch average of all the active players in the NFL. So Santana has been known for hitting the deep balls, not just here in Washington, but his days with the Jets as well. 4 years with New York.
This Washington offense is very dynamic, and I always look at dimensions that an offense has. Yes, they can run the football, and you know they're going to run the football with Clinton Portis and Del Betts. They have an outstanding receiving tight end in Chris Cooley. If you look at their wide receivers, Santana Moss and Randall L., they have every dimension that a quarterback would love to have at his disposal. Unfortunately for the Redskins right now, their offensive line, particularly the right side, has been decimated by injuries.
And they like to run some of these short yardage plays to the right. As we told you, John Jansen injured last week, out for the season. Todd Wade is the starter over there now. And the right guard, Randy Thomas, tore his tricep in the first quarter. Jason Fabini's on that side now.
Gutsy call by Joe Gibbs, first down.
Here on 3rd and a yard, they get it, and they'll take the timeout, because it'll take another 10 seconds to umpile the bodies. So Washington out of timeouts, 46 seconds left at the 49-yard line. In this division, Dallas is, it's early, but they had a very blatant show of their high-powered offense against the Giants in week 1. They beat Miami yesterday, so Dallas sitting at 2-0. Washington trying to join them there. Philadelphia trying to avoid going to 0-2 where the Giants are, and it does not look good right now for Eli and the Giants. Meantime, these quarterbacks thus far tonight, as you said, Ron, uneven play.
No question. Very erratic quarterback play this evening. You see Jason Campbell at 50%, Donovan McNabb just a little bit over 50%. Except for the big play from Jason Campbell, we have not seen any explosive plays. Both of these coaches offensively like to design those big plays, those explosive plays. We've only seen one here with 46 seconds to go in the first half.
Campbell will operate out of the shotgun. It's the 4-man rush. The throw is caught. Moss working the sideline nicely. And they're down to the 38-yard line.
And the Redskins are doing an outstanding job this evening of working the sideline. You know why? You got a quarterback with a big, strong arm that can rotate it to the sideline. Take advantage of that. The mistakes in these situations, these nickel situations, usually come toward the middle of the field when those linebackers are taking deep drops. Work the sideline. The Eagles, of course, like to force them inside because the Redskins have 0 timeouts. Let the clock go tick, 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 as our friend Boomer says.
Closing in on Sean Sweezum's field goal range. Campbell has room to run, ton of room, and the sideline. Got a good block as well, and Campbell stays on his feet until he's tripped up. Right around the 15-yard line, stepped out of bounds back at the 18, but Santana Moss downfield with a big block on a 20-yard first down run.
Outstanding job by Jason Campbell here. He reads the man-to-man coverage. Quarterbacks understand when it's man-to-man, those defensive backs and linebackers turn their back. He has a lot of green grass in front of him. Jason Campbell does a nice job of understanding the coverage scheme of the Eagles. When he gets pressured out of the pocket, oh, he sees room and takes it.
A 20-yard run is the longest against the Eagles this year. Washington in field goal range, out of timeouts. Campbell's throw caught by Randall L., who fakes going out of bounds, puts his head down, and is spun down at the 1. Still in bounds, clock running. And Campbell will kill it here.
No need to panic in this situation.
Now they stopped the clock, now they restarted. Interesting.
Spike the ball.
So the Redskins stop it with 14. Randall L., almost like he was going to go inside, then going to go out of bounds, and was able to get more yards.
Randall L. is a very gifted athlete. You get him in space, he'll present a lot of problems for you. Now the anticipation here is always going to go out of bounds. You see Sheldon almost broken ankle right there. Sheldon Brown missed on the tackle. William James comes in, just gets Randall out of bounds just inside that big old orange pylon. Gives the Redskins a first down just inside the 2-yard line.
And with his shoulder coming down inbounds and then he rolled out, correctly ruled to be inbounds. And I was surprised that they even stopped the clock there for a couple of seconds. Now the play clock is down at 4 seconds. Washington doesn't have a timeout, and they're going to get a delay of game here. Wow. Wow, the Redskins are happy. They were asking for a reset in the play clock.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Now, if the play clock was done properly, and I thought it was, then that one's got to be on the sideline for not getting goal line personnel in quick enough.
Mike, you're absolutely right. That is a coaching error right there. You've got all the time in the world to get your proper personnel package on the field.
Now, do you want to kick the field goal here with 14 seconds? Because if you run a play and end up inbounds, it's going to be hard to scramble your field goal unit on.
You're right on the cusp of scrambling and spiking the football here with 14 seconds, depending on how deep you go in the end zone, Mike. But I think you could take your shot at throwing to the end zone. The fade or the quick slant might be available, that little seam right down the hash marks.
The field goal unit at the ready to sprint on. And another flag. Kill the play and drop him back 5 more. You might just kick the field goal here.
Yeah, last 2 plays have been disastrous for the Washington Redskins. You get down inside the 2.
False start, 69, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Jason Fabini, who's in for the injured Randy Thomas, moves there.
First 2 Washington penalties. They're going to bring the field goal unit out now. Here's what was going on. You see the play clock upper right corner there, 10 or upper middle right, if you will. And here they are. They're looking back. Nobody's got an idea. Campbell's still waiting for the play to come in. He said, come on, guys, let's go. And so that clock did reset. Remember I said that they had stopped the clock momentarily? And there you see that play clock running out for the delay of game. I think they were confused once they saw the game clock stop for a second.
Mike, coaching error. Coaching error, that's simple. It shouldn't happen.
Sweezum will be frozen by Reed as a timeout is called.
I believe I saw this happen yesterday somewhere, like Oakland, Denver.
We talk about the end of the Oakland-Denver game
yes.
where Mike Shanahan froze Sebastian Janikowski. The timeout was acknowledged and called. Janikowski still went through, as the players all thought. Shanahan's brilliant at waiting until the last second, using the rule that's been in 2 years. The coach can call the timeout. Janikowski made the 50-plus yard field goal, but the timeout was granted, then missed it. Elam comes back for the 2nd game in a row, makes a field goal, and they win the game. And now, Jaws, with further review, Gibbs will bring the offense back out and run a play to the end zone.
A very bizarre turn of events here, Mike. Very bizarre.
Man, a lot's happened since 1st and goal at the 2. Right? On that play where the clock.
Is Tony still around? What's he missing? He's missing a lot of good stuff here, you know?
Preparing for PTI with Wilmot at the half. All right, no timeouts, Redskins, 14 seconds left. Portis, the running back next to Campbell. Movement again by Fabini, the right guard who's subbing in.
False start, 69, off, second down.
Randy Thomas tore tricep in the first half, and you see that the movement by the Eagles kind of got Fabini to not be able to hold his water anymore.
Well, you got to hold your water in that situation. You're going to have people moving. You're going to have defensive linemen barking out their own signals. You got to concentrate on your quarterback's voice.
That can be called a delay of game for pretending like you're going to rush, but not there. Campbell lofting for Cooley in the end zone. Hold on. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Cooley, the tight end.
What a throw.
With Brian Dawkins and Joselio Hansen covering, the Redskins score the first touchdown against the Philadelphia defense in 06.
Chris Cooley from the slot on the inside breaks it to the corner. What a terrific throw by Jason Campbell. You see Brian Dawkins trying to get over the top. William James probably, I'm sorry, it's Joselio Hansen probably jumped thrash in the goal line area there and allowed that little lane for Jason Campbell to squeeze it in.
So now Sweezum does come on, but it's to add the extra point. And the Redskins,
Wow.
who shot themselves in the foot so often that the gun was empty. So they come back and get the touchdown to Cooley, who is a guy that Philadelphia was focused on all week. They had periods in practice where they were just talking about covering 47. Well, burns him there, and Michelle, Cooley's touchdown gives Washington a 4-point lead.
Well, and you know that Chris Cooley and Jason Campbell are thrilled with this. They work together so hard in the offseason on timing routes, just running route after route after route. I asked Chris Cooley about it. He said, we're very comfortable about an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. He said, it's more important that Jason is comfortable throwing to me and knowing that I'm going to be in the place I'm supposed to be. I don't need to be comfortable with Jason. He needs to be comfortable with me, and on that play, Mike, he was.
And Michelle, it's so funny. You talk about 8 million things that happen to get your record at the end of the year. If Andy Reid doesn't call timeout to freeze the kicker, it's 6-6 in all likelihood, right?
At worst for the Eagles, 6-6, yeah.
Well, since Jason Campbell became the quarterback, Chris Cooley was his favorite target. 30 catches, 411 yards, 3 touchdowns, the most that Campbell threw to any Redskin player during that stretch at the end of last year. And Cooley, who got a contract extension right before the season started, able to complete that 73-yard drive with the score.
And Mike, that was his first touchdown in the last 6 games against the Eagles.
Terrell Buckhalter with the return to the 34-yard line. That'll leave only 2 seconds on the clock. Let's follow Chris Cooley with our player tracks his path to the end zone.
Beautiful corner out by Chris Cooley right here. Sticks to the inside to Brian Dawkins. Excellent throw by Jason Campbell, but Ozilio Hansen must get back the corner. He must defend the deep route. He comes in too late, can't strip the ball out of Chris Cooley's hand. You can give any throw you want before the receiver gets to that goal line. Ozilio Hansen on the outside allowed Chris Cooley to get behind him. Brian Dawkins played that inside leverage like he had the outside help. Leads me to believe that Hansen should have been peeking back in the backfield, not jumping James Thrash around the 2 or 3 yard line. Great throw, though.
We see the value all over the league of tight ends, especially for young quarterbacks. And Al Saunders, as we talk about the offensive guru, coordinator with the 700-page playbook for Washington, he used Tony Gonzalez so well in Kansas City, and Cooley's in a lot of tight end stuff here. So 2 seconds left for the Eagles from the 35, and McNabb will just hand it off. I'm sure that will thrill the fans as we get to the end of the first half. Here at the Link, Redskins 10, Eagles 6. Philly gets the ball to start the third. Here's Chris Berman with the Lexus halftime show.
All right, Michael, thank you. Both the Washington Nationals and Philadelphia Philly.
Crowd's not really psyched right now. They're a little sour, if you want to know the truth.
Trust me, they are angry. Sour, you're being nice. They are angry.
Third quarter from Philadelphia, week 2 of Monday Night Football with Ron Jaworski, Tony Kornheiser, Michelle Tafoya, Susie Colbert on the sideline, Mike Tirico, 10-6. Joe Gibbs, Redskins scoring a touchdown, the second to last snap of the second quarter, and Philadelphia will receive to start the third.
I went out for the 2-minute drill to get ready for PTI, and 40 minutes later we were on. What was that?
Terrell Buckhalter from the 7. Good left returns here tonight. Tripped up on the way through at the 34-yard line. It was a struggle, Ron, for Donovan McNabb in that first half.
No question about it, and his receivers didn't help. Let me show you what I mean. You'll see Donovan right here. He's at the top of his drop right here, ready to deliver the football. Look at his receivers. They're like Velcro, nowhere to go with the football. Now, here's what Donovan does best. Gets out of the pocket, allows his receivers to uncover as he gets out of the pocket. You see he delivers a strike for a first down to Jason Avant. Donovan does a good job outside the pocket, allowing his receivers to get open.
You see that, Ron? Only 1 completion for more than 8 yards, even though they were spreading the ball around in the first half. with 33, a run left with Westbrook. London Fletcher chases him down. It was a gain of 5, and Susie Colbert has the halftime story on the Philly side.
Well, this was a dejected-looking team as they made their way up the tunnel into the locker room. Remember, they're coming off a loss as well. They were silent. They were heads down. A couple of assistant coaches trying to get the team going, yelling. Not one player, well, only one player did respond, and that was their first pick, rookie quarterback Kevin Kolb. He was the only player who was responding, clapping, and yelling encouragement.
Kolb, the second-round pick out of Houston, whose arrival has raised the question of how long Donovan McNabb is going to be the face of the franchise here in Philly. It's McNabb's toss. It dropped by Kevin Curtis and incomplete. We'll have third down coming up.
Jules, I got to get to something with you. I mean, when you look at Donovan McNabb, if his receivers never get open, and he no longer
Well, then never say never.
Okay, but if they rarely get open, and he doesn't have great wide receivers. Terrell Owens was his one great wide receiver. That didn't work out. And he is reluctant to run. He does not like to run. What's he supposed to do?
Well, then you have to, this is where coaching comes into play. Run some motion with those wide receivers so they're not able to bump and run to the line of scrimmage. Do some things to free them up.
Look at it, all 10 of the 11 Redskins are within 5 yards of the line. McNabb is blitzed, the pass is incomplete, it's fourth down. The Eagles wanted contact. And these people want
Blood.
Change. And Ron Landry, the first-round pick, the rookie from Washington, brought the safety pressure.
Yeah, and Donovan is struggling with his accuracy. You'll see he's got a receiver open here. The ball is over Reggie Brown and behind him. Once again, got to keep the ball down low in the red zone. Here it is, high to Hank Basket. A square in route, open to Kevin Curtis, throws behind him. Right now, Donovan is struggling with his action. I'll tell you, these fans know it as well.
McNabb has missed his last 5 passes. Rocca with the kick, just a good one. Really got into it. 56 yards, sending Randall back to the 6. And he gets the most out of that return to the 14-yard line. So a long field for Washington as McNabb and the Eagles offense is struggling. A guy who knows all about dealing with the star, pressure, and spotlight of Philadelphia. Charles Barkley joins us in the booth after this.
NASN is the place to be for an unbelievable schedule of NFL games. The modern-day gladiators battle and let it all out on the field in the quest for victory. And NASN will be there each and every week of the schedule to bring you the top games. This Sunday, it's a live doubleheader when the San Diego Chargers take on the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals battle the Seattle Seahawks. Coverage begins with Sunday NFL Countdown. Live this Sunday, the NFL on NASN.
Yes, it's a glove. It's a baseball glove.
For Wilson gloves and much, much more, visit NASN.com, your home for North American sports merchandise.
Just because you're thousands of miles from the nearest big league stadium doesn't mean you can't be a big league fan. Majestic Athletic, the official uniform supplier for all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Available now all over Europe at NASN.com.
Had 6 drives in that first half. Third drive, a 5-play field goal drive. Last drive, a 10-play touchdown drive. They've sustained offense better than Philadelphia has. Fans down at this end urge the Eagles defense on against Jason Campbell in his 3rd year and 9th start of his NFL career. From the 14, Portis to the right. Gains 4. Here's Michelle Tafoya on the Redskins.
Mike, I spoke with Joe Gibbs after halftime. I asked him what he felt about the first half. He said, we missed some things in the passing game, but he was proud of the way his team finally found a way to score that touchdown. I asked how Jason Campbell could improve in the second half, and he said he thinks the touchdown pass to Chris Cooley was, quote, a great play that should settle Jason down. We'll see, Mike.
It was a beautiful 16-yard throw after Andy Reid called timeout, froze the kicker who was on the field, and Gibbs and the Redskins brought Campbell and the offense back out. Portis for a couple. Campbell, the quarterback, is from Auburn. Another person from Auburn.
Well, we don't want to talk about Auburn right now.
Why not? Because they lost a couple games?
We're struggling right now. And we haven't even got to the real SEC yet. That's what's scary.
Charles Barkley's here, by the way. Hello.
Hey, thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Well, you were so good last year by popular demand. It was you or Christian Slater. We were going to bring you back.
Well, if you're in Arizona or Philadelphia, I want to make an appearance.
Hey. Well, we got you. We're glad we have you here. We're at 3rd and 3 coming up for Campbell and the Redskins. The throw to Antoine Randall. Taken out of bounds by Sheldon Brown, but the drive stays alive.
That was a big-time NFL throw. Press man-to-man coverage on the outside. Jason Campbell with great anticipation. Throws to the outside shoulder. That'll move the chains. You see this. This ball comes out of his hand. Tony, as I like to say, he's rotating the spheroid right now.
That was fabulous, really, rotating the spheroid.
Charles, you like that one?
Well, you know, first of all, he's from Auburn, so I'm kind of torn tonight. I'm pulling for the Eagles, but I want Jason to play well.
Well, make a decision.
Well, I'm going for the home team. I live in Philadelphia.
Of course you're going for the home team, as is Jaws. Of course. I'm going to sandwich between two Philadelphia icons.
Tony, you got no idea how brutal the fans are when you don't root for their team all the time.
Campbell takes off and picks up a first down away from Omar Gaither out to the 43-yard line.
Let's get to that. Let's get to that, how brutal the fans can be. Donovan McNabb not having a good night. He's got tenure here. He's got stature here. You had this, Chuck. You had this, Jaws. What are the fans thinking about right now with Donovan McNabb?
Well, if he don't win, he's going to have to go.
Tonight?
One thing about here, if you don't win, they're going to boo you. I always tell people, it's not right, it's not wrong. That's just how it is. If the Eagles don't win, Donovan's going to get the blame, especially offensively. That's just how it is. You can't take it personally. That's just how it is.
Did you ever take it personally when they booed you?
I did.
How did you learn not to?
I did not. Because, like, first of all, I always tell people, everybody is human. You can say, well, I don't read. First of all athletes lie. We say we don't read the newspaper and we don't watch television. Of course we do. What the hell else are you going to do at home? You read the newspaper and you watch television. You take it personally.
2nd and 9 after the 1-yard run for Liddell Betts. He's in there spelling Clinton Portis, and we had movement over by Samuels and Kendall, the left side of the line.
Ball start, 45, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Let me stay with that, with Donovan. Has he not earned, over all these years, 4 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl, has he not earned some long-time grace period?
He has, but one thing I've been very critical of the Philadelphia fans. I don't think they've given, first of all, Andy Reid and Donovan the respect they deserve. But unfortunately, in the 24-hour news cycle of today, what have you done for me lately? That's just how it is. They both earned that, but they're not going to get it here.
And that's how we open the show tonight. This is not a forgiving city. This is a what have you done lately city.
But they like you. That when your picture goes on the big screen, people cheer you. Chuck, when you walked in here, people cheered you.
When I played here, I made the All-Star team 8 straight years, and they booed the hell out of me. I'm like, what more can I do? I'm doing, like, that's just how it is. You don't take it personally. The quarterback, first of all, Donovan is by far and away the most popular player on this team. He is going to get the blame. That's just how it is, Tony. It ain't right. It ain't wrong. That's just how it is.
3rd and 14. They have to get to the Eagle 47 for the first down. Against a 4-man rush, Campbell stands tall through the hands of Santana Moss, and incomplete, and Washington will kick the ball to the Eagles. Derek Frost will punt it away. And Reno Mahe, who was back home in Utah a week ago, back deep to receive now. Good kick, 53 yards. Mahe from the 8. He's not the explosive return guy. That's why they were looking to replace him with Jeremy Bloom, among others, but he can catch the ball, and that's what the Eagles need right now. More with Barkley, who's lived through what Donovan's going through here in this city. One of the toughest cities to survive as an athlete in America.
In 2006, San Diego Charger running back LaDainian Tomlinson had one of the greatest seasons in NFL history.
Touchdown, LT!
While leading his team to a league-best 14-2 record and earning the NFL MVP award, LT set 13 NFL scoring records, including an amazing 31 touchdowns.
We're playing San Diego. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns, and puked in between. And that's when I knew it.
I felt like I was playing with little kids and I was a grown man, like Superman.
I ran the fastest 40 at the camp, and I was still 15 years old. So that's when I knew I was gonna be pretty good. Oh yeah.
Hi, I'm Derek Jeter from the New York Yankees. Watch live Major League Baseball all season long right here on NASN, Europe's leading channel for North American sports.
With Charles Barkley here in the booth watching Donovan McNabb and an Eagles offense that is struggling. 35 plays, 150 yards, 6 first downs on the night, trailing Washington by 4. And a run left for about a yard or so by Brian Westbrook. And guys, we've talked about this and we saw it right at the beginning, the open of our show. The history of Donovan McNabb comes out as the #2 pick. The fans boo at the draft. They wanted Ricky Williams. You go through the controversies.
That worked out good for him.
Yeah, it worked out better than Ricky Williams has worked out in the NFL. You go through the other controversies. The Freddie Mitchell kind of criticizing Donovan for being more of a management guy than a player's guy in the locker room. Then, of course, you have the Rush Limbaugh incident when Rush Limbaugh was on Sunday NFL Countdown on ESPN and brought up the whole black quarterback issue with McNabb and everybody wanting a black quarterback to succeed. That was caught, then dropped by Avant at the 20-yard line, picked up by Washington. No whistle or signal has yet happened. Now let's see what this play is going to be ruled. Because once the recovery happened, if it was a fumble.
This is where I think instant replay is great in sports.
Pearson Prelo has never touched down. I don't know if he was touched down. They say it's a catch, a fumble by Avant, a Redskin recovery. So let's get a look at it here on replay.
You see Donovan squeezes it in. There's the catch. He does have possession of the football.
On the field is a catch, fumble, recovered by the defense. Down by contact. Defense ball, first down.
That will be challenged.
See, that's why I think instant replay is great in sports, because officials never want to admit it. They do make mistakes. That's great for the Eagles right there.
Let's see. You can see it right there. Jason has the ball, still in possession. Knee is down. It'll be Eagles ball right there. Charles is right.
Come on, Mike. You can see his knee is down.
Well, I'm watching very carefully to see, is the ball starting to come out here before the knee goes down?
His knee is down. The ball is not moving.
I'm just wondering how the fans are going to blame McNabb for that, Chuck.
You know, Tony, it's really funny because I have been critical of the Eagles fans and Philadelphia because, number one, I don't think, like I say, I'm going to be redundant. Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb have been fantastic for Philadelphia, and I got much love for Peyton Manning. But up until last year, Donovan McNabb had actually been more successful than Peyton Manning.
In terms of getting to the Super Bowl.
Getting to NFC Championship games also. And they don't treat Donovan like that here. And I have a problem with that because he has been fantastic.
Bill Carollo, the referee, going inside the voters' booth to look now at the replay. As
Let's hope he's not a Republican. Charles, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Stop.
Are you running for governor again? You go back and forth every month.
No, I'm going to win in 2014. I just bought my mom's house. I gave her $1 for it.
In 2014?
2014?
Yes. Yeah. So you have to live in Alabama for 7 years.
Oh, okay.
I told my mom I want to buy a house for $1.
And Dune, now you get the residency in 2014.
So she really drove a hard bargain. Huh?
Well, she had two choices. She had two choices. She could either sell it to me or I could fire her. it was either A or B.
Of course.
First of all, I bought the house anyway.
So good for you.
Okay, thank you.
Getting ready to see Charles as the basketball season comes up on TNT and their NBA coverage, and we all get to cross paths during the year, about a month away from that.
Let me get back to this as long as we're waiting for this. Donovan McNabb, do you expect, you probably know, as does Jaws, when the city turns